could wander wild and free. It's the way we're born to be. Take my hand, come run away with me to a city by the sea. Let's live for fun like we're kids high on strawberry bubblegum. We could be forever young now. Let's chase the sun. Life's a gift full of laughter and love. We could be forever young right now. We could be forever young right now. Don't let it fade away. Don't let it turn to gray. Paint a picture every day. Just stay with me, 'cause the moment's ours to make. Yeah, the rules are ours to break. Let's live for fun like we're kids high on strawberry bubblegum. We could be forever young now. Let's chase the sun. Life's a gift full of laughter and love. We could be forever young right now. We could be forever young right now. Just stay with me, 'cause the moment's ours to make. Yeah, the rules are ours to break. Let's live for fun like we're kids high on strawberry bubblegum. We could be forever young right now. No more living in the middle. Forever young, forever young. No more living in the middle. Forever young, forever young. No more living in the middle. Forever young, forever young. Let's live for fun like we're kids high on strawberry bubblegum. We could be forever young now. Let's chase the sun. Life's a gift full of laughter and love. We could be forever young right now.
Up to the supermarket flowers from the windowsill. Through the day old tea on the cup. Packed up the photo album, a few handmade memories of a life that's been loved. Took the girls and cars and stuffed animals. For the ocean to be down the sink. Dad always told me, don't you cry when you're down. But Mom, there's a tear every time that I blink. Oh, I'm in pieces, it's tearing me up. But I know a heart that's broke is a heart that's been lost. So I sing hallelujah. You have an angel in the shape of my mom. When I fall down, you'll be there holding me up. With your wings as you go. And when God takes you back, we sing hallelujah. You're home.
Well, hello and good evening. Well, come on in. And boy, does it feel good to be commentating on NA again. Last time I commentated an NA race, I believe, on my own, was in Season 3. Gosh, any OGs will know that I always used to commentate this tier. Good to be back. Good evening, everyone. Evening Goldilocks, early for once. Their words, not mine. And Deton, been a while since racing in the league, just hoping not to be last. Well, it is Monaco, anything can happen. Whether being last, being out. Deton has had a lot of success here, won 82 last season. So hopefully Deton can channel whatever he channeled last time. Let's see what's happening. Now, My timing's impeccable. If you've been tuning in the last couple of Thursdays, especially last Thursday, you've seen me munching away on some food in the stream. I do apologise. Bad timing again today. I have got more food. So you could probably see it in the picture, just ignore it. The most important thing is these guys out on track. And Deton kicks us off. Round number 7 this week. Evening, Dayman. Me too. We needed food quick because wife's busy tonight, so we needed quick food. Yeah, as we say, round number 7. 3 streams this week. No assist tonight. The hardest form of sim racing with absolutely no assists. I've tried that this season if you've been joining, and it is very difficult. So complete respect to everyone who races on Tuesday nights. Thursday you'll have me and the streaming debut, hopefully, fingers crossed, of Marlboro's Sled, and that'll be assist tier 1. And then Sunday night you can join us for assist tier 2. All 3 streams this week as we go on board with Dayman. With Deton. I'm just going to turn this down slightly. All 3 streams this week are sponsored by the wonderful Goldilocks, who is already in the chat, and Rids. If you watch the channel, see the chat pop up on the screen, you'll know who exactly they are. They're very kindly, out of the kindness of their hearts and out of their own pockets, have sponsored all 3 streams this week. £20 gift card will be given to the winner of the fastest lap in the race. Good evening, Snacks. Monaco 90 under the lighty. I like it. I dig it. Just said it, didn't think. Sometimes to think is being boring. Deton, first lap of the week. 1 minute 13.0. Good evening, Rids. Just talking about your lovely, kind sponsor. Thank you very much for that. We will be keeping an eye on the fastest lap in the race very closely. But I imagine a lot of the action will happen at the very end of the race when people start boxing for soft compound tyres. Assuming, of course, that it is all dry. Yoski, hello, Steely. How are you doing? Lots of people out on track. A few drivers still in the pits. A few equipping of the medium compound. You can see Daniel Susan there. Dayman's on the mediums, Longson as well. Top Gun Wiggles have the mediums on their car, but not out on track yet. Joseph Hales and Ross, 2 of the other drivers, 7 in total, to utilise the mediums in Q1. Still 13 minutes left. Early doors, early days. Fresh opportunities. Adam, who you can normally see on Sunday nights for assist tier 2, decided to give NA a go. Has done a few races this season already. Always nice to see drivers tried something a little bit different. You've recovered from Sunday. How's you? I'm very well. I'm very well. I've been off work for a number of shifts now, so I'm just enjoying my time off. I'm back to work tomorrow, working the next 4 days, so that should be fun. Dayman. 13-1 on the medium compounds. Igor has just come across the line. Did do an 18. 1 minute 18 as a banker, but has gone quicker than that now into the 1 minute 12s and subsequently into the top 8s. Monaco is one of the head turners of the season because, well, in real life racing it doesn't generally give that much action. You don't get a lot of overtakes, maybe single figures throughout the whole race, to be honest. So strategy obviously is crucial at this track, as that guy just ghosting as he's hitting the wall possibly gets wing damage with those couple of nudges there to the left hand side of the front wing. No visible damage we can see. Might be good enough to carry on. It is really beautiful, Rids. And we were umming and ahhing about doing Midnight Monaco this week for all the tiers. And we put a couple of comments out there and just saw what the drivers thought. That guy comes back into the pits. No real surprise in that one. Hopefully that guy can get a better lap time on the board in his second run. So we threw a couple of feeler comments out there in the Discord, and people were like, I like it, but there was a little bit of disagreement with it. Not unhealthy disagreement, no arguments or anything, just a few people questioning it. So we gave the decision to Goldilocks and Rids to decide, hey listen, you're sponsoring the stream, thank you very much for that. You can choose if it's midnight or not. And they did, so what you're seeing tonight is courtesy of Goldilocks and Rids, so thank you very much for that. That way, if you disagree, you can not have a go at me about it. It's fine. Greg, P5, 1 minute 12.111. If that was exactly 1 second quicker, my satisfaction bank will be full for today. As if I don't need any more satisfaction. I've got nuggets and chips in front of me. Hairpin looks epic at night. It really does. And we tried it for the first time last season, Midnight Monaco. I know other leagues have tried this and it's worked. Mr. Wiggles invalidates there through the fast-ish chicane at the bottom of the hill, out of the tunnel. You'll need to go again. 10 Tango's quickest, 10 minute 10 minute 1? I was about to say 10 minute 1. 1 minute 10.1. There we go. Got it out eventually. Ross in the 11.0. Pretty good lap time on the medium compounds. Should be safe with that. Oh, and a huge slide for Top Gun. As he did set a banker 1 minute 21. That'll probably get put on some kind of highlight reel from Top Gun. Beautiful save, but looks really good on camera as well. 10 minute 1 will be my lap time on 82. Nah, doubt that. My what bank? My satisfaction. When something satisfies you, just makes you feel happy. You're right, it didn't sound amazing, but I knew what I meant. So that guy's back out on track for another run. Padge reserving tonight, usually on the comms box. I'm sure he'll be back next week with Chelsea for round number 8, which is Spain. Top Gun, 12.3. Just ahead of Joseph Hales, not too bad. Longson on the mediums, 12.1. Lovely lap time there. Now, I will try and pronounce this person's name correctly. If I get it wrong, I apologise. But nice to finally see Noe's race, or Novi. I'll probably call him Novi. And if I'm wrong, I'll look a bit stupid. But there we go. I'd do that most days anyway. Novi 4/10 up in the first. A bit worried about the satisfaction bank. I feel like I've got no comments, Steely. Got a huge amount of traffic in Sector 3. Had 3 cars hold me up at Raskas. Raskas is these corners that Novi is coming round now. That kind of what looks like a double right. So that's not good news for Joseph Hales. However, the 12.3 is not too bad as a lap time by itself. Everyone with a lap time on the board. Currently 3.4 seconds separating the group, but it's Monaco, where this is going to be normal for us. Is that a W or 2 Vs? That is a W. Oh, Greg's going slowly. Getting out of the way, it would seem. That means I've got one as well. Gosh. Now he's got the German flag on. So I can only assume that W's are pronounced like V's, maybe. Maybe it is Noe. Or maybe it's Novi. I don't know. I don't know V. Anyways. Yeah, here come the comments about that joke. No way. No, I'd only say that was no way if it had Jose on the end of it. That guy's getting a lot of traffic here. Alpine of Flamingo Eagle. See how Flamingo does then. Steely, I can tell you're bored, mate. Coming up with these jokes. Just wait till he enters the chat. He'll probably enter in a bit. So, Flamingo Eagle is currently the time to beat on a 12-minute... a 12-minute? What is wrong with me today? 1 minute 12.8. And soars all the way up to P9, just behind his teammate. Past the time. Kids haven't gone to sleep, meant to be streaming in 10 minutes. He's done it again, he has. So nice lap there, Flamingo Eagle, wow. You are witnessing the downfall of one of the greatest minds of our time. Padge reserving tonight, as we said. Joining Greg in the AlphaTauri. He's got his teammate up there in P7. Retired from session already and pretty much safe. can Padge make it 2 Toweries in Q2? I actually don't like coffee, Steely. Padge up to 14th place. 2 milliseconds away from Joseph Hales. And Joseph's still in the pit, so could that 2 milliseconds be decisive for Padge as he looks to get to Q2 for the first time, for the second time, sorry, this season. Asthma Frog is half a second down. He's turned off ERS, that's probably why. And Adam hasn't got ERS equipped either, so all of the bottom 9 are out on track. All of the top 9 are not out on track. Hello, Ale Ben, how are you doing? Jaeger bomb? No. I've never been drunk in my life. Proper boring me. Deton has invalidated, possibly at turn number 1. Really the only spot in the first sector to invalidate, so Deton will have to go round again. Asthma Frog has also invalidated, so hopefully they've got enough fuel to go round again. Longson comes across the line and goes 9th fastest, 11.5. Should see him through without any shock exits. Is there a caffeinated drink of choice? I like tea, but some tea gives me a stomachache. So I generally drink Earl Grey or decaf. So Joseph Hales has retired from the session. No improvement to that time on the mediums in his first run. Decaf God, that's another one. Adam has invalidated his lap time, and that will send him out of Q1 in 18th place. Got Deton and Asthma Frog in the drop zone. We got Dayman, who is currently 6/10 down, and that is a big shunt into the wall. He has carried on, but don't imagine this one is going to break the record banks anytime soon, and unfortunately that is also a invalidation. So if anyone can beat Dayman, either Asthma Frog or Deton, it will be out. But Asthma Frog, this is a very slow first sector, so Asthma Frog will be out as well. So really it's just down to Deton now. Says he hasn't raced in a while. Had some big success last season in 82, winning his first Grand Prix in the league. Needs 6/10 at least. He was 6/10 up in the middle, and he's 7/10 up, and he is safely through ahead of Joseph Hales, ahead of Padge, and we know Asthma Frog has invalidated anyways. So Dayman has just been pipped out of Q1 and will start 16th on the grid. Asthma Frog will start in P17. Padge perhaps that lucky one to get through. Deton, by the way, 1 millisecond ahead of Joseph Hales and 3 ahead of Padge. We saw something very similar in 81 a week or two ago. Felt like the softs were slippier than the mediums there. Had no grip, says Dayman. Sometimes it is it's confusing, the amount of grip that you get from certain tyres and the amount of grip you don't get sometimes. Boxed on my in-lap because others invalidated. Good awareness. So, probably the biggest gap in Q1 we've seen all season. 3.4, 3.434, separating the top 18. But let's not forget where we're at. Ten leads the way though. Hello, TD. Question for TD is, why can't you race anymore? Well, tonight. Why can't you race tonight? We miss you. What did you miss? We had Adam Q qualify in 18th, we had Asthma Frog in 17th, and we had Dayman in 16th. We had a good battle between Padge, Deton and Joseph Hales, who finished 13th, 14th and 15th, only 4 milliseconds separating them, so that was pretty close at the bottom of the leaderboard. 1010 qualified in first in Q1. Have a good meal. What do you have ordered? Thank you very much. I have a McDonald's ordered. We needed something quick, as the wife is pretty busy tonight. So I've eaten the burger already, just because no one wants to see me mess up that on live on stream. So I've just got some picky food. Oh, sorry to hear that, Tom. Hopefully all is well. So time flies when you're having fun, of course, and in 12 minutes time we will know who will make the top 10 shootout for Q3. Before then though, these 15 drivers have to try and string together 2 or 3 qualifying lap times that will potentially get them to that top 10 shootout. Yeah, the last thing we want, JJ, is for me to be messy on stream. I'll get people telling me to get a bib and stuff. The bib god, I can already see it happening. Nice lap there from Ross, 10.1, close to what 1010 set in the first part of qualifying. A 1,000,000%, yes. Turn 1, bring me so good vibes. Interesting. The bib god, no. It's not a thing. I don't need a bib, it's fine, I'm an adult. That's what turning the camera off is for. It's a good point. But last season, the overtake on Ross. Remind me. Talking of overtakes, we had some fantastic overtakes last season. Joseph Hales made one on Smaller Smiley in the chicane out of the tunnel. And Smaller Smiley here on Deton in NA last season won overtake of the season round the outside in wet conditions at the Lowe's hairpin, which is the hairpin Padge is rapidly approaching now. Just here on track, Smaller Smiley won overtake of the season for an overtake round the outside of Deton at that corner. How dare you, Steely? I can tell you're bored. You got 10 minutes before you stream. Thank you for the follow, Matt Atswell2. Thank you very much. Hope you're enjoying the stream tonight. 3 streams a week, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. All 3 streams this week are sponsored by Goldilocks and Rids, who are in the chat somewhere. £20 Amazon gift card to the winner of the fastest lap. Ten, this one is invalid, but he will go again. Smaller Smiley though is en route and over the curbs. That one will not count either. Easily done on this track. One for your Discord bio. I have to restrain myself from what I'm thinking of calling you right now. No one will know. My weather is glitched. Says rain in 5 minutes and for Q3. And Deton says rain on the way. So maybe it's not a glitch, Joseph. Or maybe it is. I got something similar on Sunday night. But I wasn't told if there was rain or not, so I have no idea. Yeah, I guess we'll keep an eye on the weather. Kids are asleep, you're off ski, enjoy, have a good fun, Steely. Steely 2016 streams as well on Twitch. Off to do a stream tonight, so if you're bored of me, which to be honest, you could be, I don't know, up to you, why not tune in with Steely? Says only 5% chance, but 90% chance in 60 minutes. You won't get to 60 minutes from now. Susan, that is Daniel Susan, in the Red Bull, currently top, says will be a rainy Q3. Yes, nice to meet you, Daniel Susan. I was watching last week, very impressed by what I saw. Nice to see firsthand what you can do. So Deton then. Under the cosh slightly. If you don't know what that means, he narrowly got through to Q2. Sure. Deton will be hoping with everything that he's got he can get into Q3. Good evening, Daniel. How's it going? And a lot of people in the stream. 24. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. And chat, I want to know, out of 10, rating out of 10 for this track. 10 being this is the best track I've ever driven, or ever seen, or ever watched. 0 being dig it up. Don't want to see it ever again. Wiggles crashed out. Did miss that. I was looking at chat, I think. So Wiggles, you can see that has done a time quick enough for P7, but has dropped to P10. So everyone in the top 10 will have to beat that time. Greg comes across the line and does exactly the same lap time as S. Longset, 1 minute 11.8. Eight out of 10, says Cod Camper, if you have good rhythm. Very astute analysis, I would say. Deton currently 12th fastest. After that flying lap a few moments ago. Half second up though. And over the curbs. A lot of drivers struggling with track limits in qualifying. Hope I can win now. What's your breaking point, Joseph? Says Daniel. Yes, if you were watching last week, we had an incident in Imola in the first couple of corners where Joseph just accidentally missed his breaking point, and Daniel was nudged and lost a bit of ground. I think that's safe to say, fair to say. Across the line comes Greg, 11.3, now running in the top 7. Top 4, top 6, I would say, pretty safe. As things stand anyway. Anyone in the 1 minute 10s should be pretty comfortable. We are expecting Deflated to be up there in the 1 minute 10s. 10.1 safely through to Q3, I would say. Greg, mighty lap, 11.3. Top Gun's out on track, but not improving at the moment. Possibly heading back into the pits. And drivers starting to emerge for their final runs. So who's down there? That guy. Coming back out onto the track. Has been a mainstay in Q3 this season. Only one of his 6 races he's failed to qualify in top 10. So we're definitely expecting that guy to be in and around the top 10. Flamingo Eagle, he's done 5 races this season and 2 Q3. No, just 1 Q3 appearance for Flamingo Eagle. So be hoping to make that 2 for the season. If you can get through 7 tenths up, that's a good start. Padge is retired, so P12 is the best that Padge can manage, and he will be out in Q2, unfortunately for him, but decent attempt. Flamingo Eagle, a whole second improvement, and goes into 9th place. We've got Longson, Smaller, Deton, and that guy. Deton and that guy have just started laps. Got Top Gun starting a new lap as well, possibly not content with that 1 minute 10.4 he's done. Longson just coming around Raskas now to start a new lap, and Smaller Smiley you can see coming to the end of sector 2 on the track map in that red Ferrari. Deton, bit of a mistake there, he's gone too deep and he's hit a wall, so he will back off this run and go again, I imagine, and very handily moves that other way for that guy. Deton hasn't got a Q3 appearance this season, so that'd be good if Deton could get that one tonight. That guy 1.2 up should put him around Longson at the moment. And a 2.3 second improvement. All of that time that he lost was in that last sector, and jumps all the way up to 6th place. That puts Flamingo Eagle into the drop zone. Smaller Smiley is not on a run, a flying lap this time, nor is Longson. Flamingo Eagle then the one to watch. Could have 9 cars in Q3, very possibly. If a few people can beat Wiggles' time, we should get 10 in there. So Eagle needs to beat Greg's 11.3, needs 2 tenths. And I don't know if that was glitched or maybe he just wasn't on a time. But he switched off the ERS. I'm a bit confused as to what just happened on my screen. If anyone has any explanations, please feel free. Longson 1 tenth down in the first. And Deton just going for another run. Smaller 1 tenth up in the first. So if Greg's 1 minute 11.3 is beaten by any of these bottom 4 or 5, Greg will be out. It's a 4/10 drop on his personal best. Longson has not made the cut. Will start 12th at best. Smaller Smiley though is about 4 tenths up on his lap Needs possibly a bit more through this final sector, and just narrowly misses out by about 600ths of a second. Smaller Smiley out in Q2, as is Flamingo Eagle with that invalidation, and Deton also invalidates. So Greg holds on, and only 9 cars will be running in Q3. In case you're not sure why, Mr. Wiggles' lap time was good enough to get him into the top 10, but he crashed out, which means he can't race anyway in Q3. Because all of the bottom 5 have a slower lap time, Mr. Wiggles will take P10. So confirmation, Daniel Susan in the Red Bull on only his second race, leads the way in Q2. 1010 deflated Ross, all up there, the usual suspects. Top Gun, that guy, Novi, Joseph and Greg make it through to Q3. Deton out in Q2 again this season. However, it is his best qualifying this season of P15, so well done Deton. Padge did one better than last week. Qualifies P14 on the grid for the race. Longson qualifies in P13 for the second time this season. The only other time this season was in Bahrain. Flamingo Eagle in P12, Smaller in P11, and Wiggles not even his worst qualifying of the season. So Mr. Wiggles can do something from that. Difficult to overtake in the race, of course, which means quality is very, very important at this track. But we've already seen people make mistakes, get invalidations and stuff. If you can keep it clean, don't get any damage, don't make any unforced errors and extra pit stops, you might find yourself in the points. And don't forget, if your race isn't going that well, don't retire, because fastest lap of the race gets £20 Amazon gift card. Could be you. Says a lot if 15th is my best. You could say that. You could think of it as you're getting quicker. You could think of it as maybe quali isn't my strong suit. It's just how you take it. But I think Deton, last season here at Monaco, you proved that you're no pushover. And look at all those race cars. Everyone out on track in some kind of very extended mechanical conga line. The only one who's not conforming is Top Gun, back of the pack. Ross then the first to start in Q3. Predictions in chat, who do you think will get pole position tonight? Based on Q2, could be Daniel Susan. Could be 1010. Could be Deflated. Could be Ross. Who knows? We're going to go on board with Ross. 1 minute 9.9 for Ross. Little nudge out of the swimming pool for 10.10, exactly the same place where Ross had it on board a few moments ago. Greg with a 1 minute 11.2, but we know he can do quicker than that. Same for Deflated, who's done only a 14.0. Joseph Hells does a 10.1, 11.1, sorry. 10.10 does a 10.1. Novi comes across the line to do a 10.5, puts himself within touching distance of the top couple of rows on the grid. And here comes Daniel Susan to go provisional pole on a 1 minute 9.7. Top Gun 10.8 and currently holds ownership of 5th place. Well, I know the Fast and the Furious franchise is just called Fast now, but that was very fast and furious. Some more fast, some more furious, I imagine. Deflated, that guy, I'm sure, will be a little bit disappointed with their first runs. However, this is only round number 1 of the session. Another bunch of laps, I'm sure, will be happening very soon. But round 1 goes to Daniel. Deflated has pops in there with a second run on a 1 minute 9.8. Went second, but 10.10 then went second. Immediately afterwards, that guy improved to an 11.0 and promotes him up to P7. Only 1.5 seconds separates the top 9. Couple of follows off stream to tell you about Kev Russell 61 and Samantha W99. Thank you very much for the follows a few hours ago before the stream started. Really appreciate that. We are rapidly approaching 700 followers on the channel. Thank you everyone for your support for that. Top Gun on a second run. Same set of tyres. May not be the theoretical best he can actually manage in this session with a bit of tyre wear to manage along the lap, but half a second up. Just needs to keep it clean now. No major mistakes. Nice and steady through Raskas. Beautiful through the final corner. Was 5 tenths up in the middle. 6 tenths up now. 10.2 puts himself within half a second of provisional pole. 5 tenths off. Gets P5 for the time being. Everyone else is in the pits. Apart from Greg, who is on his way out now. So the calm before the storm. In 5 minutes or so, we'll find out who has taken pole position for the Monaco Grand Prix. Last season, pole position was taken by Mr. Wiggles. However, with that crash in Q2, it won't be him again, and Mr. Wiggles took the race win last season. So we will have a new pole sitter for the no assist tier this season. excuse me, tonight. But who is it going to be? Currently it looks like that top 4 are the ones to look out for. 4 minutes to go. Drivers out on track with plenty of time just in case they mess up a lap or invalidate an attempt. Very smart of you to ask me. Top Gun, Novi, Daniel still in the box. We've got a Red Bull coming out on track. Daniel now coming out on track. No movement thus far from Novi. Just left his box now, so all 9 cars will be out on track momentarily. And these lap times are going to come thick and fast. Plenty happening. Greg has backed off. Joseph has invalidated and he's saving his battery as well. That guy as well, same story. So Ross next across the line for hopefully a valid lap time. 2 minutes to go. Pressure is on. All you're hoping for is one good lap. All Ross is hoping for right now is that Red Bull doesn't put him off. It looks a good lap. It's a 1 minute 9.9. It's only a fraction of an improvement though, and he stays in 4th. It's been over 560 days since IIRL took a pole position in this league. Incredible stats, seeing as he is the highest point scorer, the most podium and race wins in this league. But that pole position evades him. 10-10 across the line. He goes within 100th of provisional pole, and he will be fuming that he has not got provisional pole there. Daniel has just seen 10-10 cross the line and will know that it's not quick enough. And 10-10 has, I think, he has crashed. And Daniel is 7/10 down in the first sector. He's switched off his battery. He can get round for one more attempt. Here comes Top Gun, 10.2 so far. It's a 1:9.8 and goes up into 3rd place. Nice lap there. As across the line we have Ross, but he is now starting a new lap. Joseph Hale's coming across the line and there's a 10.6 P7 for Joseph. 4/10 up is Novi. Needs more if he wants to jump up into the top 5. Believe this is Daniel coming to the end of a lap, but he has backed off as we saw earlier, so he will go again. Novi improves to a 10.2, stays P6 and improves his grasp on it. What about Deflated as he comes across the line? It's only a fraction of an improvement and finds himself 3 milliseconds behind Top Gun as the checkered flag falls. What about that guy? Haven't seen an awful lot of him this session so far, and this one is invalid, so he will stay P8. What about Ross? He's 6/10 down, and that's a huge slide out of Raskas and the final corner. Ross is just doing some drifting for us. Greg across the line. It's no improvement and stays where he is. And I think that is going to be it. We're still awaiting Novi to come across the line. Daniel Susan seems to be on pole for the first time in his IRL career in just his second race with that woman at 9.7. Nobody comes into the pits to officially crown Daniel as an IRL pole sitter. Well, hats off to anyone who manages a pole position in Monaco, but to do it by such a small margin makes it that much more satisfying. Daniel Susan, first pole position in the league, and this season, of course, 10-10 just narrowly missing out by 12 milliseconds. Top Gun out qualifies deflated wee by 4 milliseconds, and that could be the difference between a podium and a 4th place finish in the race. Ross not too far away from his first pole position in 567 days, but only a quarter of a second off. Still good pace there from Ross, and Novi pretty impressive as well, newer to the league as Daniel is. Joseph Hales P7 says he has no pace, but hopefully the race pace will be better than the quali pace. That guy P8 and Greg will start P9. 5-minute break after quali for the drivers. Chance for them to get their setups tweaked if need be. Their fuel loads, their tyre strategies. I think there'll be 3 safety cars, says Ale Bin. 10-10 getting the Josh Monaco quali special treatment, missing out by less. Very good, Josh. I've got this fly annoying me. Plenty to get excited about. The calm before the storm. Of course, no formation lap, remember. There's too many bugs with it. So, and we get no timer. So we'll just have to keep an eye out for the time. Should be going. What time are we on? Should be going in 2 minutes' time. You alright, Samantha? New to the league? Welcome on in. We are IIRL, exclamation mark IIRL for more information about us. Exclamation mark standings, by the way, to check out the up-to-date standings. Greg does a fantastic job at updating them every week. And yes, can't wait to race with you, Samantha. I'll be in 82. Yeah, hopefully we can have a good battle on track. Going to be reserve. Never been happier. Always nice to get new drivers in, new faces. See what new people can add to the league whilst we're enjoying the league. And we think it's going extremely well. It's always nice to have a few new faces and see what they can add to us. We have some big news coming up in, I would say, the next week. So if you're in the Discord, make sure you're on Discord. Hint, hint, there's a big giveaway coming. I can't say anything more than that because it's not finalised, and I'd love to be able to say what I think it will be, but I'm not going to say unless I have the actual thing. But there is a big giveaway coming, and it's not to do with this Monaco Grand Prix. So keep your eyes on Discord. I'll say this on Thursday night as well. Hopefully we have some more information that I can share on Thursday. But yeah, it is officially 30 minutes past the hour. We should be getting going imminently. Hopefully this isn't a badly timed nugget. So 39 laps, one pole sitter, Daniel, only one race winner. One person tonight will etch their name in the record book for winning the Monaco Grand Prix. How many crashes are we saying? Hopefully we don't get that many. And here we go, Daniel on the left, 10-10 on the right. And Monaco is underway. It's a good start from 10-10. Almost gets alongside Daniel, but Daniel brakes later. Bit of a slide in the back for Greg. Bit of side-by-side action there. Smaller Smiley makes a move on Greg into the casino section. And Smaller looking for another move. This time, Mr. Wiggles, and they're going side by side. Is Smaller Smiley going to overtake another driver around the outside of the Lowe's hairpin? Yes, he does. Smaller Smiley is on a roll here, but a little bit vulnerable after that overtake. Mr. Wiggles accidentally just nudging him, colliding with the inside barrier of the wall, and they're side by side through the tunnel. Smaller brakes later. Wiggles just doesn't make the corner. Oh, there's a bit of contact. And in the end, too wide through there just wasn't going to work. They're all queuing up for overtakes. As we got Dayman just trying to get out of the way and not come back onto the racing line and cause a crash. We got Adam and Asma swapping places at the back. Daniel, though, running away with this, 2.6 on the opening lap. And this is what the tyres are saying. All of the top 5 and 10 of the top 12 on the hard compound tyre. Joseph and Smaller looking to get those early overtakes and early progress done in this stint. But 10-10 though, not had the best opening lap that he would have hoped for. Now has a 2.6 second gap ahead of him and a load of drivers behind him wanting that second place. Dayman with the first time penalty of the evening. And we'll have to keep an eye on the delta between the top two. Is 10-10 gaining? Is Daniel pulling away? 10-10 not really under a huge amount of pressure from Ross behind at this moment in time, so might give an opportunity for 10-10 to start to put the hammer down a little bit. Ross seems content to sit behind 10-10, no furious driving from him. Calm and composed like normal. Deflated in P4. Lost the place to Ross in the opening lap. Top Gun Did start in third. Has pretty much swapped places with Ross, so magnificent opening lap for Ross there, up 2 places. Joseph Hales passed Novi. Novi off the start, up into the top 6. Novi just struggling to stay in DRS range. Has that guy in smaller Smiley behind, who's had a cracking start on these medium compound tyres. Mr. Wiggles down a place. Off the start we saw that overtake from smaller Smiley, around the outside of Lowe's hairpin. 10-10, putting pressure on the race leader. Takes 3/10 out of him on this lap. And Mr. Wiggles has retired in the pits. So no safety car brought out. And I wonder what sparked that. Maybe it was the frustration of what happened on lap 1. Maybe there's some damage somewhere. Yellow flag is just for Wiggles' car being brought back out on track. I still don't know why they do that, to be honest. But Daniel leads the way, 10-10. No inroads on this lap yet. As Ross deflated, Top Gun trying desperately to stay within DRS range. 1 DRS zone, of course, on this track. Down the main straight. And it's not really that powerful, to be honest. So all you can hope for is to just stay within DRS range of the car ahead. And if one of the drivers ahead of you makes a mistake, try and capitalise on it. That's basically the race strategy here. Doesn't really matter what tyres you go for. Pit stop laps are going to be important. Longson hoping for the undercut of the century as he boxes onto hard compound tyres. Flamingo Eagle gets the 2nd time penalty of the evening. Lap number 5. We are rapidly making our way through this Monaco Grand Prix, the first of 3 on this channel this week. All our races are uploaded to YouTube, usually 2 or 3 days after the race is finished. You can check out our YouTube channel. Joseph defending. Maybe. No place to go there. And no overtake on, and now finds himself under pressure from that guy. A bit of a hesitation for that guy. Would have got a warning for that as he cuts the track and maintains position on smaller Smiley. Nice battle here for 5th, for 6th. As Longson has got a 10-second time penalty for cutting the chicane at the bottom of the tunnel. I wonder if Longson's going to come into the pits and retire. You can tell I've streamed far too much, can't you? When you kind of know what people are going to do. Greg there in 10th place, comfortably in the points, has a 4-second gap behind to Flamingo. Tenton starting to put the hammer down slightly. Ross has lost a little bit of time. Now finds himself a couple of seconds back from 10-10. Not sure what happened or when it happened, but something happened. Smaller Smiley. Looked like an opportunity presented itself there for a possible overtake. But not for the time being. 10-10. Just over 2 seconds behind Daniel. Pretty much as they were after the first few laps. This could come down to a possible undercut in the strategy. Big battle here, look at this, between Dayman and Asma Frog. Asma getting the move done out of turn 1 up the hill. difficult to go side by side through that hill because the track twists and turns and the walls close in very quickly. So drivers have to be very respectful. Oh, and on board with Smaller Smiley, looked to go for a move. Past that guy, got on the outside curb into the chicane. And, well, we saw what happened when we went on board. And Smaller has lost 2 seconds in that incident, maybe 2.5. And now has to hold off Greg. And a rare move with DRS, Novi getting past Joseph. Novi up into 6th. Will Joseph Hales fight back immediately? Not at the moment. Asma Frog has made his way past Dayman. Next on the list for him is Deton. 2 members of IIRL who have been here since day one. You can tell from the onboard that Asma Frog is perhaps a little bit more confident in this stage of the race than those around him. Dayman struggling to keep up with Asma Frog at this moment in time. DRS and slipstream is that strong, it makes the DRS straight proper overtaking opportunity this game, since everyone is running the same wings. Very insightful from current and 2-time AT1 champion Josh. You can catch him on Thursday night. That guy then. Smaller Smiley has pulled away slightly from Greg. Those mediums perhaps giving him some extra grip in this stint as he fights to claw his way back into this battle for 7th. Novi has dropped this pair by a couple of seconds. You can just see him in the foreground. 10-10 slowly making inroads into our leader Daniel. Now just 2 seconds behind instead of the 2.2 last time we checked. And a bit more closer together, these three are. Ross on the podium, has the most podiums in this league with, I believe, 75. Yes, you did hear me right, 75 podiums for Ross in this league. And considering he's raced about 150 times, that's every other race he finishes on the podium for Ross. Truly incredible statistic for him. Dayman's second time penalty and a mistake there for deflated. You just saw through his line through the swimming pool section, it was just a little bit off. And it kind of was a snowball effect, led to a small mistake, and for a while there you thought Top Gun may have had a sniff of an opportunity. 74 more than me. Me too, I've only got I think 8 podiums. I've got an unwanted record in the league, I'll be honest. I've got the most podiums without a win. That's me right there. That guy's past Joseph, and Joseph seems to be struggling Unforced error in the Lowe's hairpin. Heading down towards the Nivelle chicane. Small is using ERS here. He's gone for the outside route. Joseph cuts off the inside. Says, no way, sunshine, my corner. Greg being brought back into the fight here for 8th as these two fight on the medium compound. Greg will be just sitting behind, waiting for something to happen. Possibly going to pick the bones if anything happens between these two drivers ahead. Lap number 12. Daniel still leads the way and maintains that gap to 10:10. After lap 2 or 3, it was about 2.3 seconds. So in the last 7, 8 or 9, 10 laps maybe, he's dropped it down to 1.7. So 10:10 is doing something right here and is threatening to gain more. Smaller Smiley, go for it. No, he doesn't. And he's hit Joseph Hales. And Joseph Hales has cut across the chicane, gets a time penalty. Probably will ask the steward to remove that. I'd be surprised if he doesn't. Smaller does slow down to take the chicane normally. That is very sporting of him. Could have cut the chicane as well. As Padge gets a time penalty. 5 of the bottom 6 now with time penalties to their name. Joseph Hales, need to remember that 3-second time penalty can be removed. That guy has caught Novi. Was a couple of seconds up Novi. But that guy passed Joseph Hales and started to put his foot down a bit more. These two on identical strategy, so I imagine in maybe 6 or 7 laps time, that guy might think about a possible undercut if he hasn't got the move done already. Back up this battle for P3. Very fascinating to see how they all run. That's Deton in the background. It's not Novi. Catching up, it is Deton who has been lapped. Thank you for the follows. GoTalon0 and Lewis Calls 6198. Thank you very much for the follows. Hope you are really, really well. You've joined us in the middle of the first of our 3 races this week at Monaco. Huge slide for Top Gun. Catches it well out of the casino corner. Tuesday night is our no assist night. All these drivers using absolutely no assists whatsoever. The hardest form of sim racing there is today. Smaller Smiley has boxed onto soft compound tyres. Very interesting to see how Smaller does and if he can get past Padge on that quicker set of tyres ASAP. Thursday night, join us. I'll be back with Marlboro Sled, hopefully, fingers crossed, for the coverage of the Assist Tier 1. Sunday night, you can join us for Assist Tier 2. All races on this channel, 7:30 PM GMT. Well, Daniel, in only his 2nd race in the league, qualified on pole as Joseph Hales gets a time penalty for cutting the chicane. Have no idea what happened there. Yellow flags are out. And a full course safety car. Deton has crashed. And there you have it. Well, the car just disappeared, but you can see all the debris on the track. That is what the safety car is for. And lap 14, we have safety car number 1. People boxing. Greg, Joseph Hales serving that 5-second time penalty that he just got for cutting the chicane, and a new front wing. So you'll see drivers fixing front wings as they give the walls a bit of a nudge through the race. This one is no different. And that ends what ended up being a couple of disastrous laps, says Deaton. That is a shame, Deaton, but you know, it happens. More people boxing. Padge, Smaller Smiley onto the hard compound. Daniel and 1010 onto the mediums, and Ross has sped under safety car Delta and gets a drive-through penalty. That has ruined his hopes of a podium. Deflated and Top Gun can now see that. They'll be thinking, right, this is now a two-way battle for the podium. Safety car will of course bunch the field up. Oh dear, Cog Camper. Flamingo Box is the last driver yet to do so. Just sums up your luck in this tit. Sometimes it happens, and sometimes you don't get any luck. Can't really say anything else than that, to be honest. Safety car glitch gone. Very happy about that, Josh. So, as Flamingo enters the track again, Joseph Hales cutting the first corner and getting a time penalty under safety car. I think that's now Joseph on 6 seconds, but 3 of those could be removed, where he got nudged by Smaller Smiley into the Nouvelle chicane, and Joseph Hales, through no fault of his own, was forced to skip it. So Joseph Hales, I think it's safe to assume 3 seconds at the moment. Let's have a look at the positions gained so far. Ross is the main beneficiary off the lap 1. Pass Deflated and Top Gun, but that drive-through penalty has set him back hugely now. Will drop to the back of the field once he serves it. Good progress for Flamingo. Up 4. Asthma Frog has been jumping up places as well. Up 6. Dayman up 4, Adam up 5. Started near the back, but I've got past Padge and Smaller in the pit stops. Asthma Frog. Another driver to get a 3-second time penalty in that first corner under safety car. The safety car, you can see, is starting to pick up the leaders. Everyone up to P7 has been caught. The remaining 8 drivers on their way. We've just had a flash on my screen. I wonder if this safety car is in this lap. No, it isn't. Go one more round, and hopefully Greg and the pack behind will be able to catch up. Otherwise, they may not find themselves on the back of the train once the safety car comes in. Good time to remind us about the Fastest Lap sponsor tonight. Goldilocks and Rids have very kindly sponsored all 3 streams this week. £20 gift card given to the winner of the Fastest Lap in every race this week. Currently, oh, where is it? There we go. Deflated has it on a 1 minute 12.5. But I imagine towards the end of the race, we may see some out of the top 10 decide to box for a Fastest Lap attempt. Very good, Rids. That is still my favourite command in this chat. Exclamation mark commands, by the way. You can have a look at all the list of commands we've got. Feel free to use them to your heart's content. But no, that I think that's one of my favourites, Rids, I'll be honest. It's probably one of your favourites as well. So the train has finally been caught, and safety car will be in this lap. Daniel has the... I am expressive. How expressive though? Are we saying shouty expressive or just expressive? And it looks like Daniel's gone for it out of Raskas. Nice place to go. Get yourself in a good rhythm out of the final corner. And 10-10 has completely read it. No slacking from 10-10 at all there. Ross has been caught under the cosh a little bit. And now under huge pressure from Deflated, who has had a good exit out of that final corner. No position changes off this safety car restart, as I'm sure you could probably expect. But Smaller, Smiley and Padge swapping places down towards the first corner. And there's 5 drivers you can just see on the back of the pack. We've got Dayman, Asma, Adams, Smaller and Padge. They've had some kind of incident in the first corner and they've lost an awful lot of time. We'll say shouty, but he exaggerates. Hopefully this doesn't cause a domestic between you two. Lap number 19, and Daniel's lead has been cut under safety car conditions as the field is now bunched up. You can see their Deflated wheels just cut the chicane at the swimming pool section, and a 3-second time penalty will be added after the race. Currently Top Gun now is the favourite to finish in P3, with Ross still yet to serve his drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car Delta. We've got Asthma Frog in the pits, and we've got a huge battle here between Smaller. Oh, and that's a big moment for Adam, and thankfully he catches it really well actually and keeps it out of the barrier. Very dramatic to watch. Thankfully, the most important thing, Adam has kept it out of the barrier and is continuing on his merry way. This race has sparked into life. First stint was all about tyre management, gaining places on the opening lap and keeping it free of incidents and time penalties, and now once that safety car evened up the playing field, drivers closer together, as DRS is now enabled for lap 3 after the safety car restart. 10-10 doesn't have to try and gain a second and a half to overtake for the lead. Now he's in the DRS of the race leader Daniel. Drivers being brought closer together. We have seen this season sometimes the drivers are a little bit impatient should I say, when there's been like a lobby restart or a safety car. Hopefully we don't see any silly overtaking manoeuvres. Haven't really seen any so far. A couple of small mistakes here and there, but nothing too serious to note. Ross, you can see, serving that drive-through, comes out in P10, so still might get some points here tonight, but does have that time penalty still to serve at the end of the race. Gaps starting to form, little battles starting to process. This is the biggest battle on track so far. Flamingo Eagle, P7 at the moment. Would be Flamingo's best result of the season if Greg were to get a penalty behind him. I imagine... Oh, a huge slide for Flamingo. Greg slams on the brakes to not run into the back of him. Well judged there from Greg, but just signs that maybe Flamingo being put under some pressure here. Joseph Hales has dropped off the back of this group in the last couple of moments. Hasn't got the DRS at the moment. Lap 22 is coming to a close. We have 17 laps remaining. Still all to play for. The race win. The podium is still up in the air. Top Gun could get a penalty. 10-10 has dropped out of DRS range of the race leader. And of course, the fastest lap is still up for grabs. Currently held by Deflated Wee. Joseph has boxed onto soft compound tyres. Possibly going for a fastest lap attempt. I'll have to monitor how that's going. Currently held by Daniel Susan, actually. Medium compound tyres, of course. Brand new. Decent attempt. 1 minute 10.9. Joseph does find himself behind his teammate in P14 at the moment. And the race has once again cooled down slightly. Gaps starting to form, as you can see. Driver in every single sector so far. As Daniel comes across the line to start lap 24, and that gap is starting to inch up again. Daniel now back 1.6 ahead, and another full safety car. And what has happened? I wonder if it was... Is it Dayman? Yes, it is. And no front wing for IIRL Dayman. So safety car number 2 is out. Daniel's hard work has just been eradicated. Joseph Hales will be annoyed at the timing of this safety car. He's just boxed for soft compound tyres as Dayman follows suit, and that is a new front wing. Adam has decided to switch off those medium compound tyres. He's been on them 14 laps, so that's a good call from my perspective. And on to the softs. And Joseph Hales, they're double stacking at Aston Martin. Onto the mediums this time for Joseph Hales. So, that old expression, safety cars bring out safety cars, could not ring any more true. Not quite sure what happened with Dayman. It looked like maybe just an unforced error at the same corner that Deton crashed earlier on in the race. And the safety car will bunch the field up. He's currently waiting just at the exit of the tunnel. So I imagine that's my frock. Oh, Padge, drive-through. His penalties are racking up. Did someone else get a drive-through? No, just Padge. So 2 members of management here tonight getting time penalties. Look at that scene out on the bay in the midnight sky. It's getting late here. Local time, 9 PM. It's getting dark outside now. Can hardly see. And it's difficult to see what's going to happen in this race. 10-10 under this safety car has got a 3-second time penalty. Yeah, I just missed that. I think it came up just before Padge's drive-through came up, so that's why I missed it initially. So this may have just given Daniel Susan the win that he was hoping for last week in Imola, had it not been for an unfortunate series of events which cost him a potential race win. And I imagine there'll be another lap after this one to catch the field. We've got Asthma Frog freshly pitted onto soft compound. So, as things stand, here's the penalty situation. And if I could be bothered to read them all out, I would. To be honest. That's a lot talking. What's more noteworthy is only 5 drivers. No time penalties. Daniel, the race leader, has not been under huge pressure this race. He's had 10-10 behind him knocking at the door, but no real overtaking opportunities for 10-10, so that's probably why Daniel has kept his race clean so far. 10-10, a bit more understandable, trying to push, close that race lead gap. You can understand why 10-10's got a time penalty there. Top Gun and Novi look very comfortable here. I might actually check how many warnings they've got, because that could cost them a podium if they get a time penalty. That guy, Greg, in P10, Mr. Consistent, we always call Greg, doesn't really seem to get time penalties all too often. Let's have a look then at how many warnings Daniel's got. He's got absolutely none. Oh, my TV is about to turn off, that's not good. What about Top Gun? Top Gun is on 2 warnings, and Novi is on 1 warning. We've got that guy on 2 as well, and Greg has 3 warnings, so I imagine one of them is probably for a bit of contact and not for track limits. So Daniel, penalty free, warning free, has got a little bit of wiggle room if he needs to absolutely leather it on this restart. Gotta love Monaco at night. I hope you're well, Sun God. I am extremely well, Spark. Beautiful to hear your voice on comms back on Sunday night. You may have hung up your racing gloves for the time being, but always a pleasure to see you. We have 13 laps to go. Safety car is in the pit lane. When will Daniel go? He's gone out of Rascasse once again, and this time the pack have followed suit. Padge with the drive-through penalty, but still yet to serve. A few gaps forming. Padge with the 3-second time penalty. Daniel has the fastest lap of the race so far. Remember, £20 gift card to the recipient of the fastest lap. Still plenty of time to go. Padge has done Padge things and has let everyone past out of the kindness of his heart because he's got that drive-through. So it's just like, oh, you can go through, it's fine. Classic Padge. He's been cleanest driver of this league for a couple of seasons now. Ooh, a bit of a slide from Daniel. 10-10 says, well, I want to slide too. And out of Rascasse, a couple of snaps of oversteer to collect. Smaller Smiley, what's happened to him? And he is round. And is there any damage to report? Could have just been a slide. Bit of debris in the background, so no virtual safety car out. Incident has been cleared, I assume. Padge has served that drive-through now. So needs some help to get back into this race. Smaller Smiley struggling. I think he's got wing damage after that crash at the final corner, and you can just sense that his balance is not quite right on that car at the moment, and left end plate missing. Asthma Frog, 3-second time penalty. It's hard to keep up with all of them, to be honest. And Joseph is out of the race. DRS is enabled, and Joseph's car has been cleared. He has crashed at the Nouvelle chicane that Padge is just approaching now. Joseph is out, and I'm not sure what's happened. Could just be Monaco being Monaco. We got more yellow flags. This time small Asthma Frog at turn 1. Possibly just outbroke himself. Camper wouldn't be surprised if we see some people inside the top 10 box of fastest lap. People like, say, maybe Dayman, who is 10th at the moment, might find him boxing for fastest lap because you know, might lose a point in the end on time penalties. Got some very capable drivers of here getting the fastest lap. Smaller Smiley, probably the quickest of that bottom 5 or 6 drivers to possibly go for a fastest lap attempt, and we do know Smaller Smiley has damage to fix, so that will be a decent decision from his perspective. Wow, Josh, what a comment. Super Spark, goated commentator with a retirement from comms shorter than Massa post 2016. You have a way with words, Josh. Lap 31, and 1010 is in striking distance, but with that 3-second time penalty needs to get that move done sooner rather than later. Asthma Frog boxing for soft tyres. Top Gun here. He knows that 1010 and deflated have time penalties. Of course, if a driver has a 3-second time penalty they fear was they think was unfair, they can ask for it to be removed by the stewards. So Top Gun here has a couple of choices to make. He can either say, right, they've got time penalties, I need to just hope that they won't get removed, and in the end I'll jump up to P2, fingers crossed. Or they'll say, right, I'm not going to take my chances on that, I'm going to make a move and try and get on the podium without time penalties. Novi defending from Ross and that guy. However, Novi's had a below par turn 1, it would seem, and on the exit has been got by Ross and that guy. And another yellow flag, this time for Dayman. He's still up and running, so maybe just a nudge on the wall. Maybe a little bit of debris on the track. Smaller Smiley, as predicted, into the pits for probably a new front wing and a set of soft compound tyres. But can anyone beat Daniel Susan's fastest lap of this race? Ross now at the front of this trio. Red light flashing on the car, less than 15 or 10% ERS left. Might give that guy an opportunity to get up into the top 5. Lap 33, 7 laps to go. Well, we've seen pretty much everything. We've seen crashes, we've seen safety cars, we've seen drive-through penalties. The only thing really we haven't had is a jump start off the grid, but we've got more time penalties than we can count. We've had good battles, decent overtakes that we try to catch on stream. Plenty of people boxing for a fastest lap attempt, but still plenty of time to do that in the final 5 laps as well. With the safety car bunching people up, I doubt any of the top 7 or 8 will box for a fastest lap attempt. Never realised how off-camber the swimming pool chicane actually was. It's very true. Once you get into a rhythm, this track is okay. But okay at best. It's still incredibly challenging. Even if you're comfortable. One mistake, one moment where you lock the brakes, one moment where you nudge the wall can completely ruin your momentum, your rhythm, your flow, your confidence. Which just brings into question and highlights the amazing job that people are doing at the front end of the grid. Top Gun, for instance, keeping it clean on 2 warnings right now. Daniel, no warnings at all, and has the pace to win this Grand Prix. And we all know how quick 10-10 is and has been over the last season. As Padge just comes out of the pits, tries to not get in the way of the leaders. You look at how much success 10-10 has had, the NA champion from last season. And right now, looks like maybe there's a changing of the guard happening in front of our very eyes. Could this be the race where it might be a bit too late for Daniel to challenge for the championship this season, but could this be the moment where he introduces himself and says, next season the championship is mine? This could be the race where all of that speculation starts. Lap number 36 as Daniel comes across the line and has a 1.7 second lead. Deflated, defending from Top Gun, who is as close as he's ever been in the back of that Alfa Romeo. Will Top Gun wait for penalties to be applied? Deflated with that 3 seconds. Or will Top Gun go for the move on track in case Deflated Weed tries to get it removed by the steward? Before this race finishes, I have to say a massive kudos to the 5 drivers so far, keeping it clean, penalty free. That guy, Novi, Greg, the other 3 to do so. Still battling Ross and that guy. Novi has had an impressive race, I would say. Maybe hasn't quite had the pace of that top 6, but certainly not too far away. And maybe next week in Spain, Novi can make some moves up into the top 6 places. He finished 4th last week on his debut. Definitely a very strong racer. As there's a yellow flag, and that is Greg at, or is it Padge? One of the Alpha Tauris. It is Greg at Raskas, who's had a bit of a moment. 3 laps remaining, and If you want that £20, you're going to be boxing this lap. Go on board then with Adam. We spoke a bit about Adam in quali. Adam normally races an 82 on Sunday nights, and earlier on in the season we asked if anyone wanted to try no assist. Adam didn't really try it before, so Adam is very, very new to the NA tier. The fact how he at Monaco is currently holding a point spot and has a good 18 seconds back to Smaller Smiley means that, barring any huge mistakes, Adam is due to get points here at Monaco after not racing no assist many races. Huge achievement for Adam. That will give him plenty of confidence for Sunday night. Are they allowed 2D corner racing line? No assists whatsoever. No anti-lock brakes, no traction control, no racing line. Absolutely nothing. And sometimes when you hear that, you start to think, wow, this is very, very impressive stuff. Flamingo Eagle, the last thing we would want to see here is a big crash, a big incident, or some kind of moment between these two drivers that will completely overshadow their racing experience tonight. Final lap of the race. Daniel has just started. He's got a 2.7 second lead, and I imagine 10-10 has just been taking it easy. He's like, mate, I can't catch this guy, he's too quick, I've got a penalty anyways, and he's just more focused on remaining in P2. Yellow flag, sector 1, everything's back underway. Still the battle rages between Deflated and Top Gun. And that guy and Ross, nothing to separate them. Flamingo and Adam swapping places, both should get points. Bit of a mistake for Flamingo. Adam just backs off there, very sensible if you ask me. Let's bring up the penalty situation, both of these on 3 seconds. Bit of a snap for Eagle, and he's in the barrier, and this battle could carry on for the remainder of the lap. But one person has dominated here tonight. He's been in control, and the win that he had stolen from him last week, retribution has been paid. 10-10 finishes on the podium. Another act of consistency and pace for him. Top Gun beats Deflated on time penalties, and that guy will beat Ross on time penalties as well, up into the top 5. Novi, great showing as well here today. He does get Ross on the penalties as well. And Greg, once again, Mr. Consistent. He ain't the quickest driver in our league, but he's probably one of the best all-round racers. This battle's still going on. This is for position. Both have 3 second time oh, Flamingo has got 6 seconds now. And Adam, oh my word, contact. A cracking end to this Monaco Grand Prix. Adam should be extremely proud of himself. He's got Smaller Smiley right up his trumpet, but Adam does get some points in the end. Flamingo, I think, drops to 11th on the end. Wow. Absolutely fantastic stuff from the people. And confirmation. The fastest lap goes to Daniel Susan as well. £20 gift card coming your way. I'm not sure quite how that's going to get to your way. Maybe Goldilocks and Rids will be in touch via Discord. But after 51 long minutes and 42 long seconds, Daniel Susan has retribution, pole position, race win, fastest lap, a perfect night under the Monaco midnight conditions for the Hungarian. 10-10, well-deserved podium, but just didn't quite have the pace to challenge Daniel tonight. That 3-second penalty didn't help either. Top Gun started in P3, dropped to P5 off the opening lap, but kept it free of time penalties, and when Ross got his drive through and when Deflated got his time penalty, Top Gun is back where he qualified in the top 3. Deflated, that guy, keeping it clean, making moves on the strategies, very impressive stuff. And Novi as well, exactly where he started, very well deserved P6. Greg, as we said, keeping it penalty free, and 4 points coming his way. Ross, even with that drive through, still manages to get a P7. That is really, really impressive stuff. Adam and Smaller do get some points in the end for their respective constructors. Flamingo Eagle just missing out after getting 6 seconds late on. Asthma Frog, Dayman, Padge all classified, and a few crashes to tell you about. Joseph Hales and Deaton bringing out safety cars. Longson didn't make it, and Mr. Wiggles, after something happened in the first few laps, decided to call it quits early on. Can you drop me a Discord message please, and I'll sort out Amazon gift card? Of course. Yes, I will sort that after the race. Well, chat, I hope you've enjoyed that, and we got 2 more this week. Sorry, something funny on Discord. Yes, the leader of the championship. Who is that? Let's bring it up. Mr. Wiggles, currently leading the championship. DNF today. So the new leader of the championship is now 10-10. And with John missing the last 3 races due to equipment failure, shall we say, under a heavy storm, he hopefully will be back next week to pick up his title challenge. Ross not doing too badly as well, jumps up in the standings, possibly up into P3, I'm not too sure. Right, I think that's us, and I am extremely tired. It's always a pleasure to stream at Monaco. Anything can happen, and it certainly has today, but one man stood above it all. Daniel took this by the scruff of the neck. Retribution for last week, where he possibly should have won but didn't, and a very strong debut last week. Daniel is one to watch out for. Maybe not for this season's title, but maybe next season as a definite rule. Thursday night we have AT1. You'll catch me and Marlboro Sled to take you through the action there, and on Sunday night we'll have the 82 bunch back on track. Next week we are in for round number 8. We are in Spain, so that's something to look forward to. First time doing Spain league race with that edited third sector. Should be fun, should be fast. Thank you for joining us. Thank you everyone who's been in the chat. Thank you for the follows, and thank you very much to God Lux and Rids. We'll see you next Thursday.